This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. If you aren't expecting adult language, why even bother listening?
Welcome, my friends, to the Show of Friends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Ipico.
I'm Truman, and this is episode 492. I want to say it in the rock voice. It goes, finally. That's it.
Yeah. Finally getting the monkey off the back of Philadelphia. Only took 6 years to get another win. But here we are. So Red Bulls with a 1-0 victory at home against Philly. By the way, my computer is set up except for the soundboard, so no soundboard again this week, but hopefully I sound better. I was told on Blue Sky that I came in really low last week. I guess my Bluetooth headphones the volume wasn't turned up for those. So hopefully,
which is weird because I heard you fine, but
I figured you did, but I guess Zoom didn't.
Yeah,
it's just a weird thing. But I have this mic turned up to 100% to make sure it gets through. Hopefully, I come through loud and clear. Plus, back to my and Truman can see it because I have a webcam right now.
Yeah,
that's
fancy mic.
The fancy studio mic. Anyway, 1-0 win against Philly. Penalty save, a very big penalty save, followed up by a goal which I don't know if anybody really saw coming.
No. Massa Piqua Messi, is that what they were saying?
I guess so. I didn't watch it live, and I don't remember hearing that specific phrase. So, but all right. And before we get into our thoughts, Blue Sky, do you have? I think there's only one response, but do you have that?
Just one, and it's Chico being positive. So I congratulate him on. I mean, there's not much to be positive with during the season. But he did say they played well and deserved a win. Overall, happy with the performance today.
I mean,
can't argue with that, right?
No, a win. What is the phrase from Shorzy? They don't ask how, they ask how many. Right?
Yes.
A win is all that matters in this case. Right. So I apologize if you do hear the coughing still. I did go to the doctor. It's acid reflux. I'm taking shit. Hopefully it helps. Truman, you're up first. What did you dislike about this match?
I think it's still the biggest problem with this team is the lack of goal scoring. Now, mind you, playing a very, very good Philly team, right? You'll take any win you can. Like you said, they only ask how, they don't ask how many. But they didn't have a lot of chances in this game either. And again, you got to score more than a goal a game to win games most of the time, especially if you're going on the road, which they will be doing this weekend. One goal's not going to cut it when you have Choupo-Moting, when you have Forsberg, when you have guys that can score goals. I'm hearing that Lewis Morgan's coming back next month. We'll see how long he lasts. Maybe he'll play 30 minutes in a game before getting hurt and not coming back till next year. But I think that's biggest gripe is that goal scoring is still really lacking right now.
Yeah, I mean, I may be mixing up Everton and Red Bulls, but I don't remember a lot of shots happening for the Red Bulls. Just get the offense going. That's all. All right, sorry, I'm gonna get distracted. That penalty, I thought hand to the side was not supposed to be given as a penalty.
Yeah.
It was a natural position, which is supposed to be allowed under the rules, but as I found out during Everton, that doesn't fucking matter, apparently.
Well, I will tell you, in England, I talked about this the other day with a friend of mine, that England's supposed to be cutting down on handballs inside the box, even if it's an unnatural position. If the guy's not looking at the ball, they're looking away, and the ball goes off their hand. In England, they're not going to call that as much. They said the rest of Europe is still calling it a high rate. Obviously, if your defender's looking at the ball, kicked at you in your arms, in a natural position,
Yeah,
you're probably going to still get called for it.
yeah. Anyway, just that the fact that was given as a penalty, that's my dislike. So likes, I'm gonna say, where the fuck has that defense been? I don't know if it's because Tim Parker was in the lineup, but I feel like that's the most. What's the right way to phrase this? I feel like this was the most fight I've seen out of the defense in months.
And maybe it helps that they're playing Philly a few days later. Maybe, I don't know if that's part of it, but right, they definitely looked more put together in this game.
Yeah, I do feel like Tim Parker was part of that though, right? Because I think he hadn't started since April. And not that defense hadn't looked good during the stretch where he wasn't starting, but and again, it could be like you said, just that we played Philly twice in a week. They looked like they came ready to play this week, in MLS at least.
Yeah.
Now, whether they'll keep that up against Charlotte, we'll see. But I feel it's just a gut feeling that Tim Parker was kind of the impetus for that style of play on Saturday.
Yeah. I'll give the like to Carlos Coronel for making the save. And I'm telling you, every time you watch like a penalty kick, sometimes when that player does the quick stutter step, I feel like they've already lost. I feel they second guess themselves a lot of the times. And I feel you can kind of feel it coming on that one. It was like a quick stutter, came up, and a little bit of a weak shot, not a terrible shot. Not a lot on it, but to make that save, because you just feel if they scored, they're doomed. The Red Bulls are just completely doomed in that game.
That game would have been over.
You're already thinking it's going to go in the net, and you're already planning, oh my God, what do they do now? But that is such a massive play by Carnell to make the save, keep them in it, and to be able to score not too long after that. It's massive for this team.
And honestly, if it wasn't for that save, right, the crowd reacted, and I think the crowd reaction helped the team scored that goal, honestly.
Yeah, kind of got them back into it, got them fired up too.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for that save, I think it's game over.
Yeah.
And maybe we're talking a 1 or 2 goal loss versus a 1 goal win.
Yeah, because it completely puts the games, puts the Red Bulls on their backs and pushing, and they could get countered on.
Yeah. All right. Afterthoughts. Anything else about this game?
Congrats on Dylan Nealis for scoring a goal. Great touch. First of all, great pass. I think it was Choupo-Moting provided that pass. And to pretty much just take it on one touch and put it on the opposite side of the net. Really, really great goal scored. I don't know. You can't feel too positive, but at least they get the home win, right? At least they get the monkey off their back and not losing to Philly, not beating Philly since 2019. That has to be some kind of motivation going to these final few games. You can only hope.
By the way, that was Nealis' first MLS goal.
Right. Yeah.
Not first goal, period, because he scored an Open Cup and Leagues Cup, but
yeah, first MLS action.
Actually, even going back to when he was with the Long Island Rough Riders, that's his first goal in the league, like in an actual league. Yeah.
You're not counting on the guy to score goals, so it's okay.
No, but it's just I remember the radio guys were at the end of last year, like really hoping he's going to score. And I wish I could have heard their goal call for this one, because I'm sure they were really happy about that. All right. Is that it? Any other thoughts on Philly?
No, just a little bit of relief. A little bit of a relief to get that home win.
Yeah. Oh, according to the match recap on the Red Bulls website, that is the Red Bulls' 99th shutout at home since 2010.
Look at them.
Which is also which is most in MLS.
Wow. There were a very long time where this stadium actually was a fortress. So
yeah,
not so much the past couple of years.
No. Well, this year has kind of been like a fortress because that's all we win is at home apparently.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
all right, prediction standings. Truman got 3 points because he did predict a 1-0 win.
Yeah.
That puts him at 22 points. I'm at 11, which I really don't like because that means I'm going to have to start thinking about using that double or nothing, basically.
I'll just start shining the belt up again. It's fine.
We have 7 games left, so I got to figure out a good point to use that. Which will probably not be this week, though. Red Bulls on Sunday will travel, or Sunday, August 24th, will travel to take on Charlotte in Charlotte, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is kind of weird. I thought like 7:30 was the start time. I guess this must be on like Fox or something. I can't imagine why we're starting at 7.
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Let's see. No, according to Google, it's just season pass. Yeah,
Weird.
It's just a weird start time. Charlotte comes into the game with a record of 14, 2-11. Reading that backwards. 44 points, a +6 goal difference. Currently sitting 7th in the Eastern Conference, and their last 5 in MLS are nothing but wins. Leagues Cup is where they lost some stuff, but or
Who
at
gives
least
a
true.
shit?
But 5 straight wins for Charlotte. So a little bit of a heater that we got to face going into on Sunday. I'm really sorry about the cough, guys. Last match was a 4-2 win at home for the Red Bulls. That was back in May, unfortunately. Truman, your predictions for Sunday?
It's time to end the winning streak because I'm going to try to stay positive. But this team ain't scoring goals, which can only mean one thing: 1-1 draw. Can they just hold on and snag a point or two here and there to actually get into the playoffs? The big game obviously is against NYCFC at home. That's going to be huge to determine if they get into the playoffs or not. But can they steal a point? I'm really trying to stay positive here. I think they can get one out here. I mean, only 2 draws in the season for Charlotte. I mean, that's got to change, right? I mean, every team gets more than 2 draws. That's this crazy talk.
Yeah, you think so. See, I got to be different, right? I can't go draws because then I risk just only getting 2 points back.
You do.
I gotta risk it. So here's the question then: the more likely option is, or the more likely of the two, that the Red Bulls somehow get a second win on the road or they lose. I mean, of those two, which is the more obvious one. I'm gonna buck the road trend because I feel like I got to be positive too, at least a little bit. I'm going to say we're going to squeak out a 1-0 victory on the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gutsy.
I'm not going double or nothing on that though, because God forbid I'm wrong.
Yeah, you'd be doomed at that point.
Yeah. And for those who don't remember, because we only talked about it at the beginning of the season, it's called the True Believer. If I were to use it, right, and I were to get it right, I get 6 points, but I get 0 if I don't get it completely right. And it's the thing we introduced last year when Pat decided to take his hiatus, and we figured we couldn't let Truman just run away with it. Had to give some option for coming back.
Some desperate option.
I mean, down 11 points with 7 games to go. Actually, I think I'd be down 10 points is what we said we were to use it too.
Yeah.
So down 11 points with 7 games to go. I think that's a good use of it. But not right now. No, not right now. Because watch, I would use it. They would win, and I would get 0 points out of the game.
Right. Yeah.
All right. With that, time to move on to Red Bulls 2. Their last match. I'm trying to remember when we recorded this. So the 15th. Yeah. So the last match would have been a 4-2 loss on the road to New England 2. They currently sit with a record of 13-4-5, +7 goal difference, 45 points, still first in the Eastern Conference. Next match is also this Sunday at 7 p.m. They're at home hosting Chicago FC United, or basically Chicago Fire 2. Gotham FC. Oh, I didn't realize they played today. I got to look at the
They
full
did.
match schedule.
They won a game.
Yeah. So since we recorded last, they lost 2-1 at home to the Houston Dash in NWSL, but just tonight, Wednesday night, they beat Monterrey 2-1 in the CONCACAF W Champions Cup group stage. Which, is it me, or did they literally just finished this like 5 months ago, right?
I feel like they did, yeah.
And then just
It
go
does
right
feel
back
that
into
way.
it?
Yeah, I guess.
Hold on, I'm going to scroll up because now I got to see. Maybe it wasn't, because I'm back in February, March. I don't see any games on the schedule for that. Maybe it was last year, and I just feel like it was closer than that. Anyway, in NWSL, their record is 5-5-6, a plus. Oh, sorry, hold on. This is the full standings. A +4 goal difference, 20 points, 8th in the NWSL, which is the last playoff spot. Their next match is this Saturday, 7:30 p.m., where they're hosting the Utah Royals. And then it looks like they have maybe about, real quick count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 games left after that. Or I'm sorry, including that. So getting close to the end of their regular season as well. Again, no sound effects, but we're going to skip the F1 update realistically because there's nothing to talk about. They're on break. They're still on break. I did find out about the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix, and I started watching it. And have you seen the beginning of that race? It's like one of the craziest wet weather races ever.
I don't think so.
Literally before, right after turn 1, I think 12 different cars get to sustain damage. And this is in an era where they had spares available. So almost all of them rejoined the race. So if they should have started with 22 cars. 12 cars got damaged after turn 1. 18 cars ended up starting the official lap 1. And then 4 more got damaged on, I'm sorry, 3 more came out on the second lap 1. One of them did get into an accident, but was able to drive and continue the race.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I did see that McLaren is going to auction off 3 of their cars. I don't know the exact details are, but they are going to auction off one of the Formula One cars, I think, at the end of the season, which you can pick whichever car you want. They're auctioning off, I think, an Indy car and an endurance racing car that I think that was in Le Mans.
For some reason, I thought they were doing one from next year, too.
Pull out your millions of dollars and start bidding on your McLaren car now.
Okay. No, let's see. So for the F1 car, they're auctioning off their 2026 car by the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the car that will race next year is what you can bid on. And I guess the car from this year as well. And like you said, I don't think it's an Indy car. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It is Indy car.
Indy, and I think it's an endurance car.
It's an Indy car. It's the F1 car for next year. And where's the third one? It's their hyper car, which is part of the World Endurance Championship. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. You get one of those cars. What in the shit are you doing with it?
Realistically, the only thing I think of is turning into a kick-ass simulator.
Because I mean, obviously the person who is winning this, it's probably someone like Jay Leno, who has a garage with 25 other cars in it. So,
and access to a track where he really wants to take it out, he could.
Right, all set. Yeah. Let me just get in my hyper endurance car and just drive around town.
Yeah.
Take one turn, the car does like 15 360s, and I just crash it immediately. That's probably more realistic what I would do with that car.
Yeah. All right. I just realized it's gonna be like a relatively short episode. I guess because of just how Philly went, we didn't need to bitch about it. So we didn't really bitch about the Open Cup because I didn't put it on the schedule on the agenda. I mean, do we want to talk about that game?
Who gives a shit? Again, that was a game you knew they were going to lose. Didn't we say that we knew they were going to lose in some heartbreaking fashion, and they did?
Yeah,
that's what they do. That's what they do. In Philly, I think we talked about in the last show is that they're going to lose in some terrible fashion in Philly, and that's exactly what happened.
With AJ,
hey, they were able to score a couple goals in that one.
They scored 2 goals, gave up 3, and their goalkeeper got hurt.
Yep.
On the play that led to the 3rd goal.
Yep. So I think we can safely move on from that.
Okay.
Our friend Eddie was messaging us on Instagram. None too happy.
All right. Next up is Dumping Ground. And I really wish I had my fucking soundboard right now, but next week.
So I'm the trash man. There you go. First things first, we don't have to start with Liverpool. I'm going to start with Swindon Supermarine that opened up their season a couple weeks ago. They have 1 win and 1 draw in the Southern South, I don't know, trapezoid of disaster, whatever you want to call whatever this level of football is. It's like the 28th division. But hey, and then they had a 1-1 draw in their FA Cup game. So very exciting start for Swindon Supermarine. I mean, they got a win to start the year, so I think they're feeling pretty positive. Their draw in the FA Cup was against Alton. And Jay, as you know, Alton is a massive powerhouse.
Of course.
Somewhere in whatever thing they play in, powerful Alton. But pretty excited that they're sitting right now in 9th place. So they're playing pretty well. So I think we should all be really looking forward to a strong Swindon Supermarine season.
I really got to figure out what my team was. I mean, it's possible they're not even around anymore, but I got to find out who they were.
I mean, you could just hop on board the Swindon train and we'll get one of the players on the show at some point.
True. I could do that. And then the question is how long until Red Bull buys them?
Oh, that Red Bull Swindon, Red Bull Supermarine.
Red Bull Supermarine actually doesn't sound like a bad name for a team.
No, it'd be pretty badass. I mean, we can also mention that the Red Bull's got an international slot, which they're definitely not using to get Timo Werner.
Well, apparently that's also for Andy Rojas, who they signed.
Right. So that's very super non-exciting news. I think that from what I read today, the difference in money from what Red Bull is wanting to pay and what Timo Werner wants is about $7 million. And if you think Red Bull is choking up another $7 million for a player, I don't know what planet you're living on right now. Because that ain't going to happen.
He's still technically under contract for Leipzig, right?
Yes.
Why can't they just do a fucking loan deal?
I don't know what the complications are behind that. I have no idea.
Well, they could easily do a loan deal where Leipzig pays whatever amount of money, right? And then this way he has his contract, he's happy and whatever.
I don't think he'll be happy. I think he'll probably just try to sit out entirely.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, there's things that could be done for this.
Yeah. I think we all know it's just not happening. There's no real strong reinforcements coming. Other teams are getting strong reinforcements. Not this team.
No.
We should have just known better, honestly.
Yeah, for like one brief moment, everybody was like, oh, this can actually happen. No.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
But I do want to talk about Liverpool briefly. Great start to the season. Winning at home. An amazing tribute to Diogo Jota in the stands and on the field. Wolves actually had a really nice display for him as well in their game, and then they got absolutely clocked by Man City. Surprise, surprise. And then I just got my Mo Salah jerseys coming in the mail in a couple weeks. So it's a very exciting time to be a Liverpool fan. Everton.
Yeah. At least I have a new stadium to look forward to this week.
That is true.
Yeah. Playing at Leeds, and we do not do well in August, let alone against teams that are freshly promoted. I don't know why the Premier League always puts us against newly promoted sides at the beginning of the year. It's almost like they're just want to fuck with us. That first half was horrible. The second half was a little bit better. If you thought the penalty awarded to Philly was bad, you should see how bad the one awarded to Leeds was. Apparently, having your arm behind your back to avoid a handball is not okay.
Still a handball. Still a handball somehow. Again, and like I said earlier, in the league where they're saying they're trying to cut down on those.
Yeah. And then Leeds, of course, scores a penalty kick because, you know, realistically, penalty kicks are like 80-20 in favor of the guy taking the penalty kick.
Yeah.
And Everton,
And
it
that was
was
that.
late. It was late. It was like the 88th minute or something like that. So there's really not a lot of time to come back.
Yeah.
And Everton was just deflated. So, but at least they get to open a new stadium, or I guess technically officially open a new stadium because they have been playing some matches, preseason test matches and stuff. But this is their first Premier League match.
I'll say those never count. As we know, any stadium, those never count. It's always the actual season opener, in that new stadium.
Those were the soft open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we got that to look forward to Sunday, 9 Eastern for those that actually want to see it. The one thing I heard, because I didn't watch the preseason matches that were there, is that apparently the camera is going to be on the same side as the dugouts. I'm going to kind of miss the fact because Goodison used to have the camera on the other side, opposite the dugouts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I almost feel like that's a better angle for the camera for soccer. I feel like it takes away some of the atmosphere to not see the benches.
But I mean, if you watch a lot of games, what I've always noticed is that you're watching and then you'll see the bottom of the screen, there's like the coaches, they'll pop up here and there. It's kind of rare where they're on that other side, where they're on the far side. So I guess it's just going to be more normalized.
Yeah. I kind of get why they did it, but it's just still. That was part of the charm of Goodison, was because of when it was built, they could not put the cameras for the main shot on the side of the field with the coaches. So
yeah.
But hey, at least Goodison's still around. The Everton women are playing there, so the historic stadium will not close anytime soon.
Yeah, they're not going to do the Tiger Stadium to them and just let it dissolve and then finally knock it down.
They'll probably change it a little bit, just because that stadium is old. I think it was last updated in like the 70s. So actually, no, that's not true. It had been updated in like the 80s or 90s. Whenever they said you couldn't do the standing anymore.
Yeah,
but realistically, that stadium does not for a quote modern stadium does not have a lot going for it because there's not a lot of, they call it hospitality, we call it boxes, not a lot of those. The concourses are really small. I'm trying to think of a good example. So the width of the concourse at Sports Illustrated Stadium, Red Bull Arena, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I think, so the stand I was in was, I think, roughly that width, but the concourse only ran as far as the stand, right? Like Red Bull Arena, it goes all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have that. They had separate stands. So at the end of the game, now we intentionally did not leave right away because I knew it was going to be a rush to get out anyway. But just imagine that flood of people leaving into that small confined space and then getting out onto the street right next to it. For a modern stadium,
I will tell you, I just did that because I was at Fenway Park on Sunday. I've been to Fenway Park many a time, but
I've been to Fenway before too. I came this close to getting a foul ball at Fenway.
Those seats. So we sat in the grandstand seats. We had good view, very, very little obstructed, very, very teeny tiny amount, which was fine, and we were shaded, which was fantastic. But those seats in the grandstand are the most uncomfortable things I have ever sat in. I've sat all over that ballpark. This might have been the worst, as in my butt was sore. You're just squeezed in. You can only exit one side of the row. The other side is blocked off by another entrance. Huh. And then getting out, you're just trying to pick a way to just stand and wait to get out of that ballpark. And then you all pour out onto either Lansdowne or the other street. I think it's Yawkey Way on the other side. And you just pour out. Oh, boy, it is. And then we just hung out for an hour because I did not want to get back on that train immediately because that also would have been hell.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the old stadiums because of character, but for certain things, I understand why they do it.
Right. Same and right, because like Everton, like Fenway, it's niche, it's cool, it's classic, but you don't get a lot of luxury suites. That's what they miss out. 38, I think it's under 40,000 seats there.
It was just shy of 39, I believe.
So I mean, it's
somewhere around
you
there.
are just you were squeezed in there. You were squeezed in.
And if you were in the main stand and you went up to the second deck, you had to be careful because of the incline of those seats. Like you could easily fall and just keep rolling Yeah. I mean, how do you built that way, right? Because there's literally the way that stadium is built. There's literally a street behind it. You can't overhang the street, so the only way you can go is up. You can't go out and up.
I think we should do a special episode. I have an idea where we each pick our 10 favorite stadiums, any sport, and then we reveal them on the show.
I do like that idea. I like that idea.
All right. And it could be anything. Doesn't matter. Does any sport, minor league, major league, top 10.
It's going to have to be because I'm pretty sure I haven't even been to 10 soccer stadiums. So,
right. Been to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, one's a baseball stadium. I've seen the Red Bulls play at a baseball stadium before.
I've been to that stadium, but just not for a soccer game. So,
yeah.
Actually, wait. I'm thinking Yankee Stadium, not Citi Field. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but
I've been to Yankee Stadium.
Okay. All right. Anyway, is that it for Dumping Ground?
Yes.
Okay. Then it's time for Truman's terrible team of the week.
That's terrible.
Did you hear it coming through? Please tell me.
Did you hold on? Hit us again. I'm gonna listen hard.
I hit play again and it jumped me to a different video. Hold on a second.
That is terrible. Yeah, there he was. There's Chuck. He was in there. All right. So listen, not much. MLS was not very exciting. There was no real blowout. So I had to dig through FOTMob. And as you know, I should get sponsored by this app because I do love this app. And I found the ultimate blowout. And it was in the first division of the Norwegian League where Eilsund beat Ronheim 6-0. 2 goals by Orsal. Iverson scored. I wish it was Allen Iverson, but it was not. Christensen scored. Merlid scored. And Milan scored on a penalty. So they really put it to Ronheim, whoever Ronheim is. Woo! What a game that was. What a game.
So FOTMob does sponsor podcasts, so we may have to see if we can get them.
Let's do this, FOTMob.
Yeah. The one show, it's a show about women's soccer. Do you want to take a random guess at the name of the show?
It's on women's soccer?
Yes.
Oh, God.
All right, hold on. I'm going to give you a hint because otherwise, without going into their whole thing, I'm assuming 2 women are hosting it. Because it plays
heel kick. Heel shot.
No. 2 girls talk balls.
All right. Hey.
That's
okay.
I think it's a great name for a soccer podcast.
I like it.
All right. Is that it? We're done?
We are done.
Okay. This ended up being longer than I thought. That's because we diverted ourselves with Dumping Ground.
That's how we do it.
Let's wrap up. Patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. I want to thank our producers, Jeremiah Dempster, Steven Santos, Eddie Lecto. Thank you for supporting this show. And I do have to check because I'm pretty sure we got a new member. Yep, we do. I wish I had the sound effects for you. I'm sorry. Charles Cardella, thank you for supporting the show.
Oh, Chuck's awesome. He's a good man. He's a good man. I like him. ESC guy, one of our homies. Yep, Chico, thank you for always sending us messages on Blue Sky. Everybody else, send us messages. You can always send us things to talk about if you want to give us a topic. I think I just came up with one tonight. But if you guys have any questions, ideas, anything, we'll talk about it on the show. We don't give a shit.
Clearly,
so we got Dumping Ground for. Yeah.
I mean, Dumping Ground took like half the show. So.
Yeah.
All right. You can email us, redbullrant@gmail.com. If you want to call us, get your name or your voice on the show, 973-348-5329. By the way, Eddie has not called us recently.
He did message, though, after the Philly game. He did. He did message us, though.
Okay. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant, on Blue Sky at Red Bull Rant for the show, at Doc the Stooge, myself at the Truman for Truman. Subscribe to our show via iTunes, YouTube Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
Shock us, Red Bulls. Shock us. We'll be shocked if you can actually do this on the road a second time, and that's go out there and actually win.
Yep. You gave Truman 3 points. Now it's my turn. All right. So for Truman and myself, this has been episode 492 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, go Red Bulls.
See you later.